One of the big mistakes that I see in divorce cases are text messages and how people feel just free to write whatever they want in a text message, like it's not going to be published huge in front of the judge, these nasty words that you said. And so you're coming to court, you've got your suit on, you look all nice, and then the court is able to see how you really are whenever they see the text message that you sent to your ex. All of a sudden, oh my gosh, you're like really racist, you're really rude, you're very abusive. This is all going to be seen in your text message exchange. And so that can come in as evidence and it can really harm a case. I had a case where we were trying to prove that the parties were common law married. And so in Texas, to prove someone's common law married, there's just a couple of elements. You agreed to be married is the first one, not, oh yeah, one day in the future we're going to get married. You agreed that you're married. You hail yourselves out to others as married. You're telling people you're married. And you live together in Texas as spouses. That's it. So I get to this hearing, and one of the pieces of evidence is, this is a divorce case, right? They're married. That's what we're arguing. There's a text message from my client that says, 2 months prior to our hearing, I can't wait to be your wife one day. Well, clearly, now we just lost the case because the agreement to be married wasn't met. Your text messages can kill your case. In divorce, a mistake that I see is the use of drugs and alcohol. Now, everyone knows, okay, having a drink at dinner or something, that's not illegal, right? But are you your best parenting self whenever you're under the influence? And that's what's going to come in. And so if the other side's able to prove like, oh my gosh, they're drinking every night, passing out on the couch, not putting the kids to bed because of their constant alcohol use, that's going to come out. So now this legal activity that you're partaking in is hurting you. And also drugs. In Texas, it is really easy for the court to order that you submit to a drug test. And I'm not talking about, going pee in a cup. I'm talking about a hair follicle or a nail scrape. Those can go back like 6 to 8 months. And so I've had people come to me and they're wanting to, get divorced and the custody is very important. And, when we have that conversation about drug testing, I'm like, okay, well, we got to clean up. Maybe we need to wait to file your case until you're able to get me a clean drug test and you've kind of made some changes in your life that aren't going to negatively impact you in this field. A huge mistake that I find people making in divorce is not telling their attorney pertinent information. I had a case once where we're fighting over custody, and I found out while my client was on the witness stand that she had been involuntarily committed 4 times. I would have loved that information before we went into trial, knowing that you had been involuntarily committed. Because if I knew that, I could have talked to you about, all right, tell me those circumstances and tell me how that's different, or tell me how that affected you. And are you on medications? Because if so, we might be okay. Because, you're on medications, it's not affecting your ability to parent. But finding that on the witness stand, that's horrible. And so I needed to know beforehand. I've had a client that said, oh, drugs, I've never even seen a drug. Oh, what are you talking about? And then whenever the judge ordered that both parties drug test, her face turned white as a ghost. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, apparently she did know about drugs and it was going to impact her case. So you have to be honest with your attorney. One mistake that I find people making when they're going through a divorce is posting on social media. That is not the route that you want to go whenever you're trying to show, I'm mature, I'm an adult, I deserve custody. You shouldn't be posting stuff about your co-parent on social media that's going to negatively impact your case. You also shouldn't be posting about the divorce and giving people these updates. Keep all of the storytelling for the courtroom. So the judge is who you're trying to convince. You don't need to win in the public eye. A lot of celebrities, their divorces are sealed. There's a reason. Nobody needs this information. Keep that to yourself. Talk to your friends, talk to your counselor, keep it off of your social media. If you have questions about some of the biggest mistakes that we see in divorce, give us a call. We're happy to help.